Howdy, folks. Happy Friday. Happy final weekend of September 2025. Happy second of our third Stephen King reviews of the year 2025 as well. We are talking about the extended Stroll, Stephen King's first novel, The Long Walk. So David Jonsson is just going to be one of the all-time greats, right?
I depends on the rest of his roles.
See, I think we've seen from accomplished young actors that they can pick bad roles and that can destroy their trajectory. We've seen that very
Yeah.
recently. So
Unfortunately,
hopefully
we
he
have.
continues to pick really good roles. Because
But
if he picks good roles, then yeah, sure, he could be
after
really great. But he's
after
also like 26.
after seeing him in Romulus and then this, the trajectory is there, I'll say.
Okay.
That's that's my opening piece. But gentlemen, what'd you guys think?
It's heartbreaking, but very good.
Yeah, excellent
Yeah,
description. All right, so
that's
next week we are talking about let's dive into that claim a little bit. Max, you agreed. Why do you agree?
well, I mean, it follows very much the idea of war and going off with this unassuming and unwilling-ish group of young boys to go off and sort of go and try and win glory. Um, and they start to love each other, start at least some of them start to really grow quite fond of each other. And we grow quite fond of them. And
We grew quite
it,
fond of them and their bonds.
yeah.
Yeah, and even near the end, like some of the were abrasive people
Hmm.
were like
Evans and
camaraderie.
Markovich.
Yeah, camaraderie at the end was like the most important thing. I mean, that's all I had at the end was just each other. There was
Hmm.
no one else there other than the stupid fucking military guys.
But it's a nice
Sure.
reminder of, what it is to be human and to care about another person. That is something that I think kind of gets lost a lot of times, especially in films that have a lot of people that die. We don't really feel that connection to them. We don't feel that connection to people in real life sometimes, right? But uh, it is always nice to have that reminder, even if it's in a fictional story, that there are real human bonds and connections that go into this.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's like when it's life and death. You mentioned like going off to war. If you're a bunch of soldiers, even if you don't like each other in boot camp, if it's life or death at a certain point, like, there's so many war movies that are like that. You're gonna make it out of here, like Saving Private Ryan, stuff like that. Um, and it very much is definitely a satire in a way of that. Um, and even like you're not winning like cash. Um, I mean, I guess in a way you are. You're not winning like this huge cash money prize in a wish, but the GI Bill kind of like made it. It's voluntary, but if you're, a poor person, like it made it so that you felt like you had to in certain
It's
parts.
voluntary, but it's compulsory.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you can either just live and it's the same thing here, right? Like they're all poor. It's not like they're going to die, but they're not living in great conditions, and this is their one chance to get out of that.
Mhm.
And it's you got the major yelling at them even when they die. It's like, you served your country well.
Yeah, what a turn by Mark Hamill.
He's a great bad guy.
He's
We've
gotta
known
be
this.
he's gotta be in Running Man, right? Because he's been in both King adaptations already this year.
Well,
That's true.
Mike Flanagan loves him. He's been in a few things. The House, Fall of the House
All of
Busher.
the House Usher, yeah.
Um,
Yeah. It's funny
We'll see.
that you bring up Saving Private Ryan because that assortment of guys in the platoon that we see through the 2.5 hours of that movie is a hodgepodge random assortment of guys who just survived the landing at Normandy. These guys are sort of thrown together in this circumstance and they form that bond together. And obviously, only a couple of them survive, right? Ed Burns survives, his character, Rybin, Corporal Upham, another one who survives in Saving Private Ryan. Um,
Or like Dunkirk is like that too. I mean,
but
that's a
what's the name of the guy who played Upham in Saving Private Ryan? He was in Lost too.
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Uh, I named Ed Burns because Ed Burns gives my favorite performance in that movie. But anyway, we see these characters and they fit archetypes in those roles. Like Rybin in Saving Private Ryan is the asshole guy who kind of has that emotional arc where he comes around to being a better guy by the end of the movie. He understands what the role of service and sacrifice are in that movie at the end better than he did at the beginning. And Upham is the
Yeah.
guy who loses his innocence through the course of the war.
Yeah, I mean,
And
part of it is that they realize it themselves.
right.
Like it, I
And
don't
then in
think it's
this
the same
movie,
thing here.
it's not the same thing, but I saw bits and pieces of these archetypes because it's so similar to a platoon of soldiers cast together in this circumstance where they fall into these roles and these archetypes within the cohort. That it was, I drew that comparison when I was watching the
Well, yeah, I mean, there's the military comparison. It's just that it's not the same as like Saving Private Ryan is very much a pro-military in a way.
movie. Fair.
Um, it's it's got a
I
more hopeful look at like I just I wouldn't use it too much.
fair.
I just use it as an example as like people die trying to save somebody else.
I read after I watched The Long Walk that it's set in an alternate 20th century. Obviously, that makes sense. It's when Stephen King wrote it. It was the first novel that he ever wrote. Um, but for a while at the beginning, before I could sort of tell that it was set in the 20th century, you guys are gonna you guys are gonna make fun of me for this, but I really wanted to believe it was set in the same reality as Alex Garland's Civil War. Like 20 years after that, this is where we ended up.
Marvel brain has
No, like
it's
yes,
corrupted you,
yes,
man.
but also like
What do you mean?
I don't know, the idea of a second civil war was brought up in
There
the
have been
first act of
many
this movie.
such cases
There have been many
of
such cases. I haven't seen many of those movies,
Star
Benjamin.
Trek has a second Civil War that they talk about, and World War III.
I've seen three Star Trek movies, all by J.J. Abrams.
All
No,
right, well that's
sorry,
not
two
really
by
correct.
J.J. Abrams and one by what's his name, who did a bunch of Fast and Furious movies. Um, and some of the next generation. I do not know Star Trek as well as you do.
Well, clearly, but it was just an example. It's not like yeah, no, we're just gonna ignore that. We're just gonna move on.
Why do I bring up my fun ideas?
They're not fun for me.
I told you you were gonna make fun of me for it. You
What do you
had the
expect
setup,
then?
and then I said the stupid thing, and you were disappointed for some reason, as if you weren't expecting it to be stupid.
Well, maybe I think
You
you
had
could do
faith in
better.
me. You had faith
Yeah.
in me. Mistake number one. Come on, Ben. We've been doing this
You're
for
gonna
4
make
years
it.
now. We've been doing this
Just
for
keep
4
walking,
years.
man.
Yeah, just
Just
keep
keep
walking.
walking. Um, but yeah, I mean, back to this movie. I think it's really like it's kind of terrifying. Like I brought up the military comparison, but this is so much more extreme. Like it's a satire in the most extreme way. You literally have people getting shot for like, not walking fast enough. And they give no
I mean, that's the
quarter.
basic rule. That's rule
But
number
like
one.
just that
Maintain
they
pace.
care nothing. Like there's the scene where the guy is like, Help me, you gotta help me with my legs," and then they just fucking run over his legs. And they still are giving the warnings. Like I kept listening. It's like they're still giving the warnings. The guy that they just ran over his legs.
There's no mercy kills. They still
No,
laid it all
no.
out. Yeah.
I mean,
If you
it is
die
so
before they shoot you in
brutal.
the face, you die, but you probably aren't.
It's just so brutal.
No, and the guy from Sioux City, who was one of the last five, who grabbed one of the rifles and killed one of the military members.
Hmm.
He was willing to die, and then they wouldn't kill him. They left him to suffer and die. Like
Yeah,
there's
they were
a
shooting him in the
torturous
gut.
element of this because it is torture. And we
Yeah.
saw with Ben Wang's character, he just he's delirious by mile 250 or whatever, and goes berserk and runs himself into death. But like these guys are actively, by taking on the challenge of the long walk, they are being tortured to death, 49 of them.
Yeah.
50 of them, even. I mean, obviously, Pete doesn't die at the end. He's the one sole survivor. But
It's a little ambiguous.
I think he just sort of keeps walking.
which is exactly what you would expect his character to do by that point.
Yeah.
I think if
But like it's not a hopeful end. It's a very depressing end. And
very
that he's
weak,
won, but he's lost everything. And it's
he didn't have
really
anything to begin
heartbreaking.
with,
Well, that's the thing is that he didn't have anything, and then he gained something and wanted to protect it, and he lost it, and now he's got nothing again. And in the ending shot, like the crowd is dispersed, it's just empty out there.
and the one thing that he wanted to use his wish for, which was to help the world, he foregoes that to fulfill Ray's wish, which is to kill the Major,
Yeah.
which is the one, I guess you could say, moment of catharsis in the finale of this film. But there's really, I mean, there's no, like you said, Ben, there's no winners here.
Yeah, it's only losers. Just take, take, take. Um,
But still, that brings me back to David Jonsson, because he is, like, all love to Cooper Hoffman. He gives a great performance here and will get duly recognized, I believe. But David Jonsson is the heart and soul of this film.
I'd say they both kind of complement each other.
Oh, absolutely. And I would love to see a Miami Vice reboot with the two of them.
Oh my God.
I stole that from Twitter. That's not my original thought. But still, I think the two of them have really, really good chemistry here. I would love to see them do more stuff together, is the bottom line. And I think what we get is a very authentic and realistic portrayal of friendship bond that would form from a couple of guys participating in this event.
Yeah, I mean, it adapts the novel somewhat loosely, but it keeps some things.
Have you read the novel? Either of you?
Yeah.
I haven't.
So Ben, how faithfully? I mean, you said somewhat, but like get into that a little bit more.
The winner is different. It's reversed in the novel where McCree's basically
Follows through on his sacrifice.
yeah, where Garrity goes back down first and then McCree's helps him back up and then uh he's like I think he can't continue anymore and so he's Garrity's like separated from him and then they kill him. And then Garrity Instead of killing the major, that's um they mention that the secret police like take his father, but he doesn't kill the major at the end. Instead, he sees a shadowy figure and then he just keeps walking, ignoring the prize altogether, which, also works. It's like the shell shock from war, from something traumatic like that. He only knows how to continue.
So, having read the novel, was the adjusted ending surprising to you?
Yeah. Um, but I mean it works either way. Like the truth is like it doesn't matter who wins. The point of the novel is that everyone has already lost. Like even if you get to the end and even if you get that prize, you yourself have been lost on the wall. You're no longer the same, you're no longer there. And they mention it like in the movie where Ray says like uh he says, is this going to get easier? Are you going to get used to this? And he's like, man, I hope not. That's what I'm worried about, or something like that.
Hmm.
But I mean, that's the truth. A bit like war. Like war is obviously a direct parallel. It's not hidden, and it also comes from stuff. I don't know if you've read like The Lottery by Shirley Jackson, where they everyone's got a lottery ticket, and the winner does not win anything good. They go up and they get stoned by everyone else, and it's
Oh,
yeah, horror influence in Stephen King for sure.
yeah. Not having read the novel, I tried to avoid reading anything much about this movie. A lot of the movies that we do, I'll watch trailers, I'll do a little bit of research, early reviews and stuff, just to, without spoiling anything for myself about the film, so I can form my own opinions about it. Just get a sense of what I'm in for. And with this movie, like a few movies we've done this year and a few movies we've done before over the previous 201 episodes, um, tried to go in as blind as possible. I didn't see a trailer for this one. I just, heard about it through word of mouth. Obviously, I don't think this was one of my suggestions for us to do. I think one of you guys suggested this one. Um,
Yeah, I think it was me.
I think so. And it was a good pick. I mean, this movie, I don't think it's going to make my top five for the year. I don't think it's going to make my top 10.
That's so crazy. Insulting.
Again, favorites, not best. Let me finish my goddamn sentence. I don't think it's going to make my top five favorites or top 10 favorites of the year. It might make my top 10 favorites. Honestly, I have to check my Letterboxd. I think it's in the seventh or eighth spot right now. Um, but like, this is one of the movies of the year. It's really well made, really great performances.
Normally, when people say that, they mean that disrespectfully. This is one of the movies of the year.
Let me let
You
me
mean you
let me
need to add
phrase it.
like the
Let me phrase it in a
best?
way that will make sense to your chronically online brain, Ben. This is one of the movies of the year, not this is one of the movies of the year.
Add
The movies,
that's
capital
not enough.
T, capital M.
This isn't even an online thing. This is just a manner of speech thing. This has been a joke for longer than the
This
internet.
is this is not like, I'm not saying, oh, this is definitely one of the movies of the year, like it'll be forgotten about. No, this is an Oscar contender. This is a really, really good movie.
It is excellent. That's true. I really enjoyed this movie.
Okay.
I
Maybe you
mean,
should take a walk, George.
300 and whatever miles.
Yeah, no, that's wild.
350 something, I think.
Oh, I don't know if you saw Stephen King made an interview.
He didn't ask me anything on Reddit, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if I think this was just an interview, but he mentioned that one of his requirements for adapting this novel was that you had to change it from in the book it's 4 miles per hour versus three, and he was like, you got to change it to three because it is unreasonable for the human to go just that fast. Like it seems just 1 mile per hour more, but walking that
Doing
much,
Yeah.
that
walking
O
350
over time.
miles
Yeah.
at a
Oh,
4 mile per hour pace,
yeah.
a mile
No,
every
he was like, this is just unrealistic.
like when I
My
run, my
dystopian
pace
society is
is
unrealistic.
my general running pace is like 8:20 for a mile, but like
No, I've done it
walking.
on the treadmill. Like you can do it.
So
Go on a treadmill,
It's
do
interesting you
three
bring
miles per hour versus four.
it's
You can
interesting you
feel
bring
it.
up the treadmill, Ben, because that was going to be my next question.
Oh, the treadmill
We all heard
screens.
about the treadmill screenings of this movie.
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, people, if you out there in the audience are not familiar, um, the distributor of this movie, I forget who was the distributor, doesn't matter. Um,
Lionsgate, I think.
Lionsgate.
Lionsgate, yes, thank you. Lionsgate held screenings of this movie in auditoriums with treadmills instead of auditorium
Pretty
seats.
sure even like I think it was Doja Cat that did her own personal like or not
Would
personal,
not
private
surprise
like
me.
treadmill screening.
Um, and I'm accustomed to treadmills in front of big screens because that's one of the setups at my gym, and I
Oh
watch.
my God, but that would be hor like I don't know
But
how I would get through some of the hard parts of the
would
movie.
you have been able to walk on the treadmill at 3 miles an hour for an hour and 48 minutes while watching this movie?
Yeah.
Yes,
But
but
I don't know
Absolutely,
if
yes.
I
but I
I
don't
don't know what
I don't
would
know
have
if
been
I would
difficult
want
about that.
to. Maybe
but
on a second watch. On a second watch I could do it, maybe.
the thing is I
I
could
think
do it. I just don't I feel like I don't want to.
I think if my gym ever screens this movie, and I really hope they do, generally I'm only in the theater room with the
Just
cardio.
buy a treadmill, man. They're not that expensive.
No.
Just for this just for this movie.
No, I want the big screen experience with a
You
treadmill.
could rent one or get one of those walking treadmills and just put it in front of your TV. Like the mini ones, like the small ones.
Yep.
Yeah. Like a walking pad. Isn't that what they're called?
Are you two
Yeah.
quite finished?
Something like that.
Yeah. George will get you a walking pad.
Cool. That'll be a great gift from you guys. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh, before I forget, there is a guy in Rammstein, the German metal band. The keyboardist for that, if you watch his concerts, he does every single concert on a fucking treadmill. He is just
Oh,
walking on a treadmill while playing keyboard for the entire show, every single
Cool.
time. Just thought it was a fun fact.
That is a
that
fun
is
fact.
that
I
is a
enjoyed
fun
learning
fact.
that. Yeah, I don't know if I would do it for an entire concert, but I could definitely do it for this movie.
Yeah, concerts a lot.
Walking 3 miles an hour out in the world under threat of death for hundreds of miles is obviously torture, and I could not do that. I could not do the long walk.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
But
they're very
walking,
real
what,
ones.
5.25 miles in an hour and 48 minutes on a treadmill, 5.5 miles while this movie is playing, I feel like that's that's dare I say a walk in the park.
I think you
Yeah.
should do it then.
I plan to if my gym ever shows this movie. Um, that being said, when this movie ended, I don't know what it was about maybe the way I was sitting during the movie, but I had jelly legs when I stood up.
Oh no. You just gotta keep walking, man. Don't
And
look
I did.
behind.
I was able, you know what? I safely got to my car and was able to drive home. But I don't know what it was. My legs felt weird standing up and walking after watching that movie. And it's just like we get two or three flashback scenes, but 90% of the movie is just guys walking and talking.
Yeah.
Yep. That's the way it should
Compelling
be.
as hell.
Well, it's
So
compelling
good to me.
because you know you're like, which one of them is gonna die next? How's it gonna happen? What's gonna go down? And just like the tension. is so good. I mean, it's really well
Mhm.
done.
They play it up really, really well.
Also, with all the warnings, they're constantly yelling out. It's like, when is one of these going to be too much?
Yep. It's because in the background, like especially during the night walk on the first
Yeah.
sort of the first night when
Hmm.
after the rain and all you hear is warning number two, or like number seven, warning number two, and then you hear again warning number one to number 13 or whatever. And it's terrifying.
Yeah.
I noticed, Max, that you said a bunch of numbers for warnings, but you didn't say Walker number 30.
Yeah, I was trying to be careful. I don't want to give Ben any warnings.
I'll give Ben a warning.
Eh,
Oh, please.
Second warning.
It's not fair. It's not fair.
Third warning.
I did it all wrong.
the wait in between warning number three was very long, and the actual execution was
It's
always
30
felt
seconds in the book. I don't know
yeah, it
what
felt
it was in the movie.
probably about 10 seconds, but it felt longer.
That's what I thought the major
No,
said.
they said 30 seconds at the beginning of the movie.
Oh, was it 30? Okay.
Did it last 30
Wait,
seconds
no.
though?
No, it was
I
10
thought they
seconds.
said,
It was 10.
yeah, I thought they said 10
They said 10.
seconds.
It felt more like 10 for sure.
Well, then they did a good job sticking to what
Because 30 seconds for each one would be crazy. Because you
Yeah,
got a
I'm
bunch
sure
of
they changed it so
people
that they
there.
didn't have to, like, in the book you don't like see it. So
but
it's
also
not
like,
as necessary to count, right?
Ben's breaking news for tonight is that you don't see books.
Well, I mean, you do see books. You just don't
you
see, you
picture
might
it
even
in
see
your head.
pictures. There could be picture
That's
books.
I'll
true,
see
picture
you
book.
in my
But
head movies.
Yeah, bad movies.
Simple Jack. Um,
I will say, some of the hardest scenes to watch were
the
the
execution.
guy shitting his pants and getting
yeah,
shot.
Yeah.
That was rough.
They held nothing back with the executions,
no,
showing blood and gore coming out of people's skulls.
Oh yeah, that was apparent from the very first one. The kid that got
yeah.
like shot.
They killed my man
Juliet.
Jojo Rabbit.
Tragic.
That was sad.
Wait, that was the same kid?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, he was Jojo Rabbit 6 years ago,
Yeah, yeah, I know.
but
But
yeah, Roman
still.
Davis.
Okay. Yeah, didn't recognize him.
Well, he was an idiot for
Puberty.
signing up for the mandatory voluntary contest.
That's true. That's true.
You guys excited for The Running Man now that we've done two Stephen King adaptations this year?
Yeah,
I am
yeah.
too. Every time I see the trailer, I get very hyped. Edgar Wright.
The Running Man,
Oh,
similar premise. Stephen King loves, in addition to horror and supernatural stuff, loves these dystopian novels.
Mm-hmm.
Big fan.
yeah, like Shawshank or The Shining.
It's less. Well, The Shawshank was just a.
It's a bit, Ben. Let the bit play.
That's not one of his book. Well, no, that was one of his books. Oh yeah, it's Green Mile. That's just the screenplay.
Yep.
Same guy that directed both.
It's Frank Darabont, right?
Yeah.
He did good
Devastating.
work with Shawshank and with Green Mile.
Devastating movies.
Well, I think he adapted Stephen King, notorious for being really picky about who does his stuff. So he adapted Shawshank, and he liked it a lot, and so he wrote a screenplay for him.
I'm tired, boss. God, I love the Green Mile. It's a very, very tragic movie.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, The Long Walk, it's thrilling, it is emotional, it is very well made, very well acted. Dare I say, for a movie about walking, it's well paced. Um, but I think we can all toss it a full recommendation. Go check it out in a movie theater. Walk
Yeah.
if you can while you're watching it. Um,
Uh, you don't have to. Only if you want.
I will tell you right now, by orders of me, because I'm hosting the episode, walk if you can.
Major growth here.
Sure. Speaking of going long distances, next week we are tackling our first Paul Thomas Anderson project. Leonardo DiCaprio and Benicio del Toro star in One Battle After Another. Kind of like every episode of this podcast is one battle after another.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Look, the one thing I've learned from this movie, um, is that you got to flex your sack. I've never heard that comment before, but I'm going to use it all the time now.
I want to hear it on every single
Remember,
episode.
boys, flex that sack.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to say it on every episode for the rest of the year. But it's got to be organic. You can't just say it as an aside.
All right, all right.
That is your challenge. All
I'll
right.
accept this.
Ben's accepted his mission. I've done most of the wrap up for this episode. So, Paul Thomas Anderson, one battle after another. We're very excited to see it. In the meantime, go check out the Long Walk in movie theaters. Check out One Battle After Another this weekend so you know what we're talking about next week. In the meantime, watch some good movies, support movie theaters, ban AI and filmmaking, and have a great night. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Night.